Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. Hope you're having a great day. Hope this video can make it a little bit better for you. Today is patch day, so we're going to be going over all the information that has been revealed so far. Now, if you appreciate all the daily coverage, a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated, and let's get into it. I'm going to start off with the new champions. First up, we're going to take a look at Warwick. Now, Warwick is one of the new champions coming this patch. He's a 3-cost 4/3 stat line, and he does have the subtype of dog, so anything that benefits subtypes such as Beast Within will actually work for him. But play I strike a damaged enemy, so he somewhat has like a Stalker's Blade effect. So if you'd like to get that strike off, this is going to be great for you. Now the enemy does have to be damaged, but that won't be too difficult for you. Fun though to get that strike off. His level up though is you've dealt damage 12 times this game. So it's not doing like a total of 12 damage, but 12 individual instances of damage. Now, when he does level, he gets quick attack, goes to a 5/4, and now you have round end, I strike a random damaged enemy. So he's just going to be getting strikes off constantly. You're really going to want to make sure that the enemy is damaged so you can keep getting those strikes off. Now, as far as his starting deck, a lot of just Zonite cards. So Jury Rig, Boom Crew Rookie, and Clump of Wumps, as well as Get Excited to start off. Now, some of these might seem a little out of place at first, but some like the Boom Crew Rookie can actually be decent for you because he is getting damage down with his attack. But then he also has his skill that deals extra damage to the enemy nexus. That's going to be another iteration of damage, another time you're dealing damage. So that's going to help to level up your Warwick. We also have the Clump of Wumps with their Mushroom Cloud, so Puff Caps. Again, when that Puff Cap triggers, it's another iteration of damage. This is going to be pretty important for especially your star powers as well as leveling up your Warwick. Moving on, though, to finish out the deck, so we have Sump Dredger, play, discard a card, just giving you potentially a little bit of extra draw. Used Cast Salesman, when I'm summoned, create 2 caustic casts. Those are the 0 cost, and normally for stat lines, it's a 0/1. He's making 2 of those, and they are ephemeral, and when they die, they deal damage to both your and the enemy nexus. So each one of those is giving you 2 extra iterations of damage. We also have the Caustic Rift, so flow, I cost 2 less, deal 1 to all enemies. So that's giving you a bunch of single ticks of damage, which is going to be great for your star powers, as well as Warwick's level up condition, and also damaging enemies, so Warwick will be able to get some more strikes off. Then we also have the Chem Punk Shredder, so play, deal 1 to all enemies, pretty much the same effect as the Caustic Rift. Now, taking a look at his star powers, so we have Eternal Hunger, rank 1. Allies have 1 power for every 7 times you've dealt damage to this game. So again, similar to the level up condition, this is single iterations of damage, not like total damage you have dealt. So just doing 1 big hit is still going to only do 1 as far as the amount of times you've done damage. But this is allies have. So this is just going to be like a aura effect. So any units you play are going to be getting this scaling power. So over the course of a game, your units are just going to get bigger and bigger. Now we have the 2-star, which we'll kind of skip for now. We'll go back to this in a moment. We have Eternal Hunger, rank 2. So now allies have 1 power for every 5 times you've dealt damage to this game. So it's just scaling up even more. And let's actually jump to the 6-star, which I think this is the first time we've had a 6-star that is the 3rd rank of one of your powers. So now allies have 1 power for every 3 times you've dealt damage to this game. So you're just able to ramp up so quickly. And now when an ally kills a unit, so unit that could be ally or enemy, heal it fully, grant it 3 health and impact. So now you're not only able to increase the power of your units, you're also able to increase your unit's health and give you impact. And impact is going to be very important for you because it's giving you another tick of damage. So it's just helping you scale up even faster. So Warwick's units are just going to get absolutely massive over the course of a game. Now your 4-star, it's a special 4-star, and it's going to work out great for you. When an enemy is summoned with 2 or more health, deal 1 damage to it. This is going to be very important to not only damage enemy units, so that your Warwick is always going to have units to strike, so that's really good, but this is also just giving you more iterations of damage to both level up your Warwick as well as scale up all your units. So this is going to be a really good 4-star that helps bring everything together. We also have the Mana Flow, game start, get an extra mana gem. Now let's hop back to the 2-star. So taking a look at it right here, it's called Primal Howl. +1 starting mana, round start, create a Blood Hunt in hand, or if you already have one, reduce its cost by 1. So that Blood Hunt, it is also Warwick's champion spell, but it's fast speed, deal 1 to a unit or the nexus, and deal 1 to another. So you can potentially ping 2 targets with this, then grant all damaged enemies vulnerable. And since this is his champion spell, create a Warwick in your deck. This is doing a lot for you. Not only is this a way that you could hit the enemy nexus for damage, but you can damage multiple units. This is great for making sure your Warwick has units to strike. And this is also just giving you more ticks of damage to further help level your Warwick, as well as just scale up all your units since they're scaling with the amount of times you've dealt damage. This is pretty solid, and you're generating this every single round potentially. But then you also have the effect that this is potentially giving all the enemy units vulnerable. So you're going to have crazy removal with your Warwick because you'll just be able to hunt down enemy units and make sure they can't get away. You have removal from spells, you have removal with your units from vulnerable, and then you also have all the strikes that Warwick is getting off. So he's really going to be able to hunt or run down his enemies and just finish them off. And I think this is going to be pretty fun to play. Now, taking a look at his Epic Relic, so this is the one you'll get for getting his Celebration Bundle. Power: when you play an ally with 2 or more health, deal 1 damage to it and grant it Overwhelm and Impact. This is actually doing a lot for you. While this is damaging your own units, it's giving you another tick of damage. This is further contributing to Warwick's level up, as well as your scaling from your star powers. So this is actually pretty good. And then also giving you Overwhelm, really nice for being able to punch through the enemy, still damage the Nexus. But Impact is also really big for you because, again, it's giving you another tick of damage, which is just further helping your unit scale. So this will help you out a lot. This will also be a great Epic Relic to throw on many other champions. So if you don't have Beast Within, this could be an alternative. Also, this will be absolutely fantastic for champions like Tahm Kench. Overall, I think this will be a pretty good Epic Relic for you. As far as some of the upgrades he's also getting in his Constellation, so your support champs have Ravenous Hydra. That's going to be great because you're just hitting the entire enemy board for damage. Each one of those hits of damage will count towards your star powers as well as Warwick's level up condition. You have your Blood Hunt has Mana Potion. This is great since just all of the Blood Hunts you're going to get will cost 1 less, and that's the spell you're generating every single round. You also have spells you acquire in the adventures that have Pyromantic Wake, so that is dealing 3 damage to the enemy nexus. Always good to have burn damage, but also just giving you more ways to scale up your units because it's just another tick of damage for you, which is really nice. Then Caustic Rift has Elixir of Sorcery. This means it's going to go off twice, and Caustic Rift is the spell that hits all enemy units. So this will be great for you. So if they have like 6 units, this going off twice, this is giving you 12 ticks of damage. So essentially just playing this, if the enemy has a full board, is immediately leveling up your Warwick. But also if you have them at 6 stars, it's giving all of your units everywhere 4 extra power since you're getting 12 ticks of damage since it's going off twice. This will be very good for you. Moving on though, let's talk about the next champion, Ambessa. So she is a 4-cost Noxian, 5/3 stat line. He has Barrier as well as Challenger. Each round, the first time I kill an enemy, create a Midnight Raid in hand. Now that Midnight Raid, as you see right here, an ally starts a free attack. So that is very powerful to be able to generate. And her level up condition is you've attacked 5 times. Now that Midnight Raid, that free attack, will contribute towards this. Also, this is just you've attacked, not I've seen you attack. So even while she is not on the board, anytime you're attacking is still contributing to your level up, which is very good. Especially because since she's a 4-cost, it will be a couple rounds until you actually get her on the board. So it's nice that your earlier attacks will still contribute. Now when she levels, she goes to a 6/4. Now each round, the first time I kill an enemy, rally. So now instead of just letting one of your units attack, you can attack with all of your units. This will be very good, especially because you can attack with her, with that Challenger, make sure she gets a kill, then get that rally so you can immediately attack again. So it's going to play very similar to like Darius, except it's going to be even easier to consistently get that rally going. Now, as far as her starting deck, she has the Blade Squire, Last Breath, Reforge. You have Cutting Sweep, 1 cost fast, stun an enemy, create a Sundering Slam in hand. Now that Sundering Slam, see right here, slow speed, 3 cost, stun an enemy. If it's already stunned, deal 3 damage to it. So essentially you can split these up and stun 2 units, or you can stun 1 unit and then deal 6 damage to it, which will be pretty good. I like the flexibility of having some decent control or a little bit of extra removal. Moving on though, we have the Legion Drummer support, give my supported ally quick attack this round. Legion Grenadier, Last Breath, deal 1 to the enemy nexus. Rictus, attack, stun the strongest back row enemy. So that'll be really good, especially since you could use this unit with some of the free attacks you get some extra control going. We also have Legion Marauder. Attack, grant allied Legion Marauders everywhere 1/1. That's going to be pretty important when we take a look at the star powers. We also have Public Execution, so 6 cost, slow speed. An ally strikes an enemy. If it dies, rally. So a great way to get some more removal and some more rallies going. Then we have Cato the Arm. Support, give my support ally 3 power and overwhelm this round. So pretty good starting deck. Getting a couple new cards here. The star powers, though, are very interesting. So we have Military Training. When an ally attacks, grant allies with the same name everywhere 1 power. If we just immediately go to the 3-star, we have when an ally attacks, grant allies everywhere with the same name everywhere 1/1. So essentially, this is turning all of our units into Legion Marauders, because this is giving all other Legion Marauders everywhere 1/1. This is essentially doing the same thing, but for all of our units. So you want to have multiple copies of the same card attacking, because that's just buffing up all other versions of that card in the future, which is a very interesting way of scaling up your units, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You'll have a little bit of a choice who you want to use your free attacks on, because whoever you use that free attack on is permanently getting stronger. Now let's take a look at the 2-star. So +1 starting mana, round start, create a conscription in hand. If you already have one, reduce its cost by 1. Now that conscription, as you see right here, it's a 4 cost and slow, but summon a exact copy of an allied follower. This is going to be very important, because having multiple of the same card attacking means that both of them are going to be buffing up each other and all future copies of that card. So this is further giving you great scaling on your units, as well as just being an excellent effect to generate more units on your board. Now for the 4-star, we have Phalanx. When you target an ally, give it barrier this round. This is going to be good for you, really helping you keep your units alive for a couple different reasons. For one, if we take a look at the Blade Squire, this is going to Last Breath of a Forge. That's going to give us a 1-cost focus speed spell to play on a unit, which will be great for being able to give them that barrier. Also, for the Midnight Raids that we're generating, this will be able to give our units that barrier. So even though they're doing a free attack, they'll also be able to survive, which will be quite nice. And remember, they're scaling up from our star powers already. Also, this should work pretty well with our conscription, because this says summon a exact copy of an allied follower. Since this is targeting one of your units, it should then give them barrier before it actually goes off, which means the unit that gets copied will also have barrier. So essentially, you're going to have 2 barriered units on your board, which will be very strong for you. The 5-star, just the normal mana flow, but then the 6-star is pretty crazy. When you attack with 10 or more total power, kill the strongest back row enemy. Now, this back row, this essentially just means whoever's not blocking you. So if you're using Challenger and you're challenging one of the enemy units, they won't be considered back row, so they're not going to be targeted with this. So be sure if you're challenging enemy units, you're not challenging the strongest one. But this is going to be very good because, for one, there's no real limitations on this. This isn't like the first time around, so with all of your rallies and free attacks, you could have this trigger multiple times in a round. Also, it doesn't have anything like your strongest unit strikes the strongest back row enemy or anything like that. It's just flat out kill the strongest back row enemy. So you could attack and then kill Lyssandra's Watcher that will normally like one-shot you. Here you can just immediately get rid of them. And also remember, this is going to be pretty easy to trigger when you're attacking with your full board. But even if you're doing a free attack, as long as you hit that 10 plus power threshold, you're going to kill the strongest back row enemy. This is going to be very strong and pretty easy to trigger with Mbessa. I think she's looking fantastic. Now, as far as her champion relic, we have the Twin Drakehounds. So overwhelm and then attack, deal 2 to the enemy nexus. If you've already attacked this round, deal 2 to all enemies as well. Now, this will be pretty nice for you. For one, having the overwhelm is solid. But then also, while the 2 damage alone might not look like a lot, since you're potentially going to be able to attack 2, 3, maybe even 4 times in a single round sometimes, you're actually going to end up doing decent damage to the enemy. Now, I don't think this is necessarily a crazy relic. It's not one that you should feel like you have to be sure to go out and get, but I think this will be pretty solid for you and give you some great Nexus damage as well as board clear, because doing like 4 to 6 damage to the entire enemy board and the enemy Nexus will be pretty solid. And it's just further incentivizing you to try to get as many attacks in a single round as possible. So I think it should be pretty fun, but not too crazy as far as a relic. Now, with this patch, we're also getting some new adventures. Up first, we have the Wrath of Zon. So explore Piltover, the City of Progress, in this brand new story adventure. Enjoy all the encounters, but be careful as you descend into the Undercity as something terrifying lurks in the shadows. So this will be a Warwick new adventure, so that should be a lot of fun. But then we have a big addition for the Arcane patch, Legends of Arcane. So players have a new event campaign in the world map, Legends of Arcane. Adventures in this map will feature a new power called Teamwork. This will give players the chance to find other champion star powers, so 1, 2, 3, and 6 stars. They're not doing the 4 and the 5 stars, since the 5 stars for pretty much everyone is just mana flow, and the 4 star is a power that's already in the pool. But you can find other champion star powers or for sale in new non-combat encounters. To facilitate this, the rarity of most champions' first star power has been changed to common. As of patch 5.11, the following adventures will be available. So not only do we have the Wrath of Zon adventure, we now also have the Kraken Priestess, a 1.5, Emperor of the Sands, a 2.5, Might of Demacia, 3.5, Enlightened One, 5.5, and Starforger, a 6.5. And that's not even all. There's going to be a 4.5 difficulty version of the Wrath of Zon adventure that's also going to be available. So we're having a ton of new adventures being added this patch. Now, there is one thing to note. This event will be available this patch as well as next patch, but it seems like it might be going away after that because this is a Arcane themed event. Should be a lot of fun. Not only are we getting all these adventures, but in these adventures, we're able to get other champion star powers instead of the normal powers that are in adventures. So this should be an awesome change of pace and a lot of fun to play around with. This is kind of the big feature coming this patch, other than the 2 new champions. Now, for the new champions, as normal, there will be their normal standard bundles, but there's also some new bundles coming. So if you remember last patch, they added 2 new bundle series, one for XP and one for Star Crystals. They're expanding upon that here with a Champion and Relic series. So this is trying to let you gradually increase your levels for vaults and reliquaries. Now we'll have to wait and see exactly how these work in game, but likely for the reliquaries, it's just going to give you a bunch of relics, obviously, and probably in the last bundle, there will be either 1 or multiple golden reliquaries. So if you're a little bit behind on your epic relics, could be pretty good for you. And for the champion series, it's probably going to give you a bunch of champion shards. So if you're trying to quickly power up your account, this could be decent to look at. Now, they did also remove the Voidling shell from the game. It caused a lot of bugs, and so they're temporarily taking it out. And so with that, Lux's Lumino Sprite is now going to get Bright Staff instead of that Voidling shell. Now, it seems like they're going to potentially try to add this back in the future, but right now it's just causing too many bugs. Also, big thing to note, they're getting rid of big guns from the Emporium offer. It's still going to be in Golden Reliquaries, but previously you could also just buy it in the Emporium. But now you'll be able to buy the Beast Within. Again, you should still be able to get this in the Golden Reliquaries, but now if you just want to be able to buy the Beast Within, that'll be solid. And we also have a bunch of bug fixes, kind of some of the big ones to note. For one, the Ancient Fear did not grant a Runeterra Gold Star Vessel. It just gave you XP, which seemed like a bug. It was. So they fixed that issue. So all of us that did already complete it should be able to get this Runeterra Gold Star Vessel next patch. Probably it's just going to be in the mail waiting for us. So that'll be really nice. Also, another very big one is that the game would sometimes freeze if you drew a card that had Nightmare Flash Bombs when you had the Hex Tech Rifle equipped. This is actually a very nice change because Caitlyn is actually fantastic with the Harmless Scarecrow, the Fiddlesticks Relic. So I highly recommend testing that out. Overall, though, pretty good patch. 2 champions that look like they're going to be a lot of fun. They're also brand new champions. And then the big thing is this Legends of Arcane event. We're getting a ton of new adventures and going to have the fun gimmick of being able to get other champion star powers. This should be very interesting. I look forward to all the broken combos people are able to generate with this. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.